All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm so delighted to see you all here, nice and bright and early. I'm sure we'll have others that will stream in, but for those who are here on time, we'll start to get going. My name is Brian King. I'm the, as you can already tell from the slide, the Group Program Manager for the Bing APIs team. And we're really delighted to be here at Ignite and talking to all of you. That's actually the best part of Ignite. We've had a great time down on the expo floor for the last few days, and I actually recognize some of the faces in the audience, so thank you for coming to our session after seeing our demo in person. It's really great. We have a number of things to talk through today, and we'll keep it fun. We have a demo. It won't all be slideware. And I brought along a few prizes at the end, some of our Bing travel mugs. So pay attention. We might have some questions, or we'll have a Q&A at the end, and we'll have some prizes for some of the best questions. So think about those questions along the way that you want answered. That's why we're here. We love it. We love hearing your questions or your ideas or your feedback. That just makes the product better. And today, obviously, we're talking about how we can make AI work for your business. We're going to be talking about Bing Custom Search, which we're announcing the GA of here at Ignite, and our next version of the Bing Search API, which is our V7 version. So let's give you a look at what we're going to go through today. We'll talk about, obviously, the Bing APIs, but we'll talk about it in the context of cognitive services, since that's where you go ahead and consume those. We'll talk through Bing Custom Search. I'll show you how to use Bing Custom Search. You can actually use the preview today, but what I'll be showing you today is actually a lot closer to what we're releasing in just a few weeks, in October. But you can go and play with the preview yourself now and get a feel and start to use it and get a sense for how it can work for you. We'll also talk about the Bing APIs v7. And if I have a bit of time at the end, I brought a few slides along for our Entity API as well, but we'll see how we're doing for time. I'd much rather give you guys time for question and answers. OK, so with that, let's get going. And the doors are closed, perfectly on time. All right, so I mentioned cognitive services, and the reason I wanted to talk about cognitive services, it's a group of about 30 APIs that allow you to accelerate your journey to AI through deep machine learning-driven AI capabilities. It allows you to add a more human side to your applications. And that's what AI is all about, right? It's all about understanding that intent from the user or the machine, and then turning that into some kind of useful action or knowledge. And that's where Bing really comes into it in terms of providing that knowledge and that information that your user might want to receive. Within the cognitive services, we have 5 major categories. Search, which I'll be talking about mainly today. Across search, we'll spend a lot of time there, so I won't go deeper on that now. We have vision capabilities, speech, language, and knowledge. And if I go to the next slide here, you'll see that we have quite a few APIs for you to play with today. Some of you may have played with them already. If you haven't, you can go up to microsoft.com/cognitive. And there are demos for all of these APIs, and they're working demos. In many cases, the APIs have a free endpoint that you can try it out and make sure that it's doing what you want it to do. And in the vision category, we have computer vision capabilities, custom computer vision capabilities, analyze those pictures, look at those people in those pictures, detect emotion, detect faces, analyze videos through our video indexer, which will actually do sentiment analysis and identify who's talking in that video. We have speech capabilities, of course. You want to be able to talk back to your users through your application. You want to do custom things in that. You want to be able to listen in certain environments. Maybe it's a very noisy environment, and you want to be able to assess and take some of that noise out. We have language capabilities, so you can understand the intent. Everything from our text analysis, which is more out of the box, to our language understanding information service, which allows you to do your own modeling for your own intent. And then finally, we have our knowledge category, which allows you to do custom decisions, do very easy responses to certain questions with our Q&A maker. And there's many, many things there. There wouldn't be time to go through all of these today, and I wouldn't consider myself the expert on all of them, because obviously at the Bing API team, we focus on the ones that I'm highlighting now. And today, we're going to focus on these two. We're going to talk about custom search, and we're going to talk about web search. Great. So as I was mentioning earlier, Bing Custom Search we announced a little earlier this year, and the search preview has been available. You can go up to customsearch.ai, and I'd love you all to remember that. Please take pictures of the web address. That's where you can go today and sign in with your Microsoft account, and you can actually try this out. Now, the UI that you'll see in the preview is a little less featured than the one I'm going to show you today, but that's what Ignite is about. You guys get to see a preview in advance of everybody else of what's coming when we GA in a few weeks in October. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to step through all of that UI. I'm going to show you how to build your own custom search and demonstrate the value there. The great thing about custom search is that it allows you to scope the world of the internet, all of the documents on the planet that are publicly available, down to the set that you actually want to use for your solution. It allows you to create two different types of searches. A site search, so I'm sure any of you work for companies, probably most have websites, and you have maybe a site search on there, maybe it's good, maybe you don't have any. Custom search will allow you to create that site search to take that content in your search engine, your web page, and put it in a search engine, and allow you to bring that content that you really want your public to see to bear. It'll also allow you to create a vertical search. And a vertical search is one where you might want to create the best search engine for health or finance or legal, where you can custom pick those domains around the globe and provide a set of results that are scoped to those set of domains. Now, that can be really, really, really valuable, especially when you think about the fact that for the site search for your own businesses, I'll show you how you can pin top results and you can customize the ranking. And that's the great thing about custom search is we believe that since it's custom search, you should get to control how it looks, how it feels, how you get to rank it on your site and drive your customers to the pages that you want. Okay, so I promised you a demo. We're going to go through a demo right now, and I'm going to show you all of the custom search UI, but I'm also going to build my own page because I myself moved to Seattle, and when I moved to Seattle, I couldn't really find anything there. So I've decided to start my own company, Contoso Travel, and today I'd like to build a custom search for my site in Contoso Travel, and I'll do that in our hosted UX and our tools, but I'll also create a page that I'll put up on my own site, and I'll be using my editor of choice, Notepad. I know many of you probably love that editor if you write code. Now, I want to use Notepad because I want it to be as agnostic as possible, and you can all see how you can just create that simple HTML later on. So let me move over to that demo, and we'll get going here. And I'm actually even going to just jump back to this page so you can see it all from the beginning. All right. OK, thank you, AV people. That looks great. OK, so here we are looking at what you'll see when you go to customsearch.ai. I've created a special instance of this for Ignite, as you can see by the address. And you'll sign in using your Microsoft account, whatever that is. In my case, it's an actual Microsoft.com account, but you can create a live ID You might have a Hotmail account, whatever it is you want to use, and you can log in using that. It's important that you log in because you'll want to maintain and work on your instances, and you'll manage your instances that way. So now we're looking at a page that is the set of instances that I have for my custom search. And the great thing about instances is that I could actually create 400 different search instances in here if I wanted to. I could make a different search engine set of characteristics for each page of my site if I wanted to. Now, most people won't. Maybe most people will only create one. But you have the capability of going in and creating multiple search instances. And we'll talk a little bit about how people found that useful in the past. So I'm going to create a new instance here for my new company, Contoso Travel. And I'll give it that name just so it's easy for me to remember. Great. Let's say OK there. And that's being generated in the background. There we go. It's made already. So what we're looking at now is the admin AI. So you as administrators get to come in and you get to configure your search. So what I want to do here is I want to create a vertical search. I want to pull in the best Seattle websites and allow people to search over them so that I can bring the best of the results around Seattle so people can come to my site, use that, find great things. Maybe I can do some deals with some trip companies and excursions and make money that way or do advertising, whatever I want to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add, I happen to know that seattle.gov is actually a good set of information. And I could stop there. If you were creating a site search for your own business, you'd add your own domain, you'd be done. That's it. That's all it takes to create a custom search. And on the right-hand side of the screen, I can test what this is like for my users using the search. Now, this isn't how your users would use the search, of course. This is just a test view, so you can kind of see how those results are coming out. So I'm going to type in places to go, see if I get anything back. Or maybe let's start with something simpler. Let's start with events. And what our indexer has done in the background now is it's scoped the entire massive Bing index down to just seattle.gov, and we're seeing results back for that. And I can see here that, yeah, okay, the event calendar on seattle.gov, that's actually quite good. Seems like that's a really good one. But I don't want just seattle.gov in there because that's very limited. They could get that just by going to that site. So I'm going to add a few more sites. But rather than typing them all in, I have this little cloud button down here, and I can actually load a text file. And I've prepared one already, my travel demo sites here. And this is just a text file with carriage returns. And when I say OK, it asks me, OK, what kind of sites are we adding here? They're all sites. And right away, they're all added in. Now, you can see the power of that if you wanted to programmatically generate files for uploading or generate custom search or do marketing. We've had customers talk to us about, the fact that I can scope these things down to specific areas of my site or subsites is very powerful. And there's other features like pinning that I'm about to show you that can drive your users in your site to specific pages for specific searches. Now, that could be very valuable to your business because if you know that somebody comes to your business and they search for a specific search term, but they typically end up in the wrong place, you can now guide them to that place where maybe you have a higher percentage of sign-up for a service. So let's see what that looks like. So if I type in, say, places to go, because I'm interested in, hey, what can I actually do in Seattle? Where can I go? I can see here that the visiting Seattle from Seattle.gov, that's pretty good. But I like this Visit Seattle, Washington article here that's down the third link. And I can come over here, and what I want you to pay attention to is the tab up on the left-hand side here says active right now. It's the domains that I want to put in. But there's two other tabs, blocked and pinned. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my custom search instance that for this query, places to go, I would like this third result to be in the first position. So I can pin that to the top. Done. Now, it moved me over to the pin tab here, and it's recorded the fact that, OK, for places to go, you'd like this to be the result that comes in at the top. And if I run that search again, the back end is caught up now to where visiting Seattle, Washington is now the pinned result. So you could see how you could use that if you know the queries that are coming in on your site search on your site to drive people to specific products or services. If you were Home Depot, for example, you could push people, if they type in garden furniture, you could push them to the gazebo promotion that you're doing right now, and so on and so forth. Great. So that's great. We've created our custom search here. We have sites in here. I can also block sites. I can block subsections. So say you had xyz.com, but you also had a subdomain prices.xyz.com. You don't really want your customers going in there until they've had a conversation with you. You could block subdomains, or either after the slash or before the slash, you can remove pages from your search result experience. Great. There's a few other things you can do here that I should point out before we move on. You can obviously rename your instance. Okay, well, that's useful. But you can also clone it. So say you had various categories or various sections within your website. You might have, maybe you're a sports goods store, and you might have a golfing section, and you set up a custom search specific for that. But then you go, okay, well, I have to do this now for my baseball section. Do I have to restart all over with a new instance? No, I can clone the instance that I set up that I really like for my instance, and I can copy that so that I can make use of it and I can save time. Okay, great. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's something that you can all play with later. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, this is great, Brian. You've been showing me the admin tool, but how do I actually make use of this? And we've got two ways. One, you can actually use our custom search endpoint. We return JSON to you. You pass in your subscription key, and you get back JSON. Now, for some of you in the room, I'm sure you're thinking, well, no, I don't really want to consume JSON. I don't know what to do with that. And that's okay. You might not have a development team in your company that can use that. For those who do, the beauty of getting the JSON back is that you have the raw data. You can take that and do your own presentation layer, and I'll show you a partner that's actually doing that a little bit later. And you can customize how you want this to look and feel, because we're all about you being able to customize your search in custom search. We also give you a couple of examples down here for how you would call it using something simple like curl on your command prompt just to test it out. But what if you said to me, no, Brian, you know, I don't have time. I can't spend time doing this. And I personally don't have time today to write a custom presentation there for Contoso Travel. I'm going to run out of time here. I've only got 50 or so minutes left. So instead, I'm going to use our hosted UI option. Now, our hosted UI option allows you to, when it loads, allows us to configure a UI instance for you and let us provide a look and feel. Now, that's really nice because I can take this instance that I create, and later on you'll see that after I configure it, I can consume it by just putting a little piece of JavaScript on my page. We'll actually do that. Or I can use a hosted option that we have on Azure. And we don't charge you for the hosting on Azure. We only charge you when queries come in, which is actually really great, because if nobody searches on your site, you don't pay anything. And if people search on your site, you only pay a little. So I can choose various layouts here. So I haven't configured this yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to do some changes down here first. So let's call this Contoso Travel Search. I'm actually just going to call it Travel Search because I'm actually going to add a logo as well. We have the ability to add a logo down here. So, and I'll put that ahead of the text. So, so let me add, I've got it here in an images folder, if you'll bear with me. There we go. There's my Contoso logo. I just had it designed yesterday. I hope you like it. I'm hoping it'll draw people into my travel site. And I have the ability to show image captions or not, and this is just showing you what the lookout is. These aren't the actual results that you would be getting for your site, but it gives you a sense to, do I want images? Or maybe I don't want images, I just want sort of more basic looking results. I can decide whether I want a dark toolbar or not. I can turn that off, turn it on. My white logo wouldn't work very well on a white toolbar. I can highlight words in the search results or not. And I can customize the text that appears when I don't have any text in my search box. So if I take that out, I can change customize search to, search. I'm going to change that to search Contoso. Great. All right. I can also say how many results do I want per page, as you'd expect. And now that we've configured that a little bit down here, we can go back up and we can say, OK, well, I can choose the layout. So maybe I want no search bar. Maybe I want a pop-up on my site. Great. So this allows me to, somebody searches on my site, they don't even have to move off my home page. I can have a little pop-up come up, and we handle all of that in the JavaScript for you. And I can also change the colors and the look and feel, and do I want it to be dark? These various things. So I'm going to stick with the regular search rather than the pop-up, and I'm going to save all of my changes. Great. So now, so let's go ahead and create my site. I actually want to create, sorry for the news there. Let's go to localhost, and I'm creating a page called demo.htm, which may or may not exist yet. OK. And OK, here we go. So I'm in Notepad now. And what we can do here is we can take and create our own page here. And what I'll do is I'll make it split screen so we can kind of follow along what's happening. So this is my own IIS instance that's running on my machine here. And if we start to add a little bit, some of you will find this very familiar. We'll add a head here, and you'll have to put up my typing at speed, though. We'll add an end head, and we won't bother adding a title just yet. We'll add a body, though. And let's just make sure it's all working, and we're actually getting something back. So as you can see, like I said, my favorite editor here, not so much. Hopefully, a lot of you are using Visual Studio. And let's let's do our hello world. OK, very, very simple. Let's save that. And see how we did over here. Oh, I must hit the home page. OK, hello Ignite. Fabulous. OK, so we know we can actually do some work with this. Our IIS is running. We've got our page coming up. But now I actually want to see my custom search instance. So let's do a couple of things here. Let's throw in a little table very quickly. And let's do the width to like 50%, just to kind of manage how much it appears on our page. And let's throw in a couple of rows. So I'm sure this all looks familiar to you guys. And what I'll do is, just to sort of give it a bit of a look and feel, I'm gonna cheat a little, and I'm gonna add my header as an image. But you can see how we would have this in our page. So I'm gonna add a header to my site, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, good. So we've got an image going there, and I'll need to end that. And I'm not being very good about my tabbing in here, but I don't want to take your time. And of course, we'll need to end our table. So let's get a header in there. And sure, while I'm at it, why don't I just copy that right now, and we'll add a footer as well. For our page, I want this Contoso site to look good. I want my customers coming to it. And I don't have an MTR, that's my problem. Okay. I know you're probably sitting in the audience there saying, hey, please catch that error. You're going to mess up. And then I need a space in the middle, too, of course, to actually put my search results. So let's do this. We'll throw in a thing here, and I'd like to give it a bit of space. So same error there in my pasting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give it, I'm going to set the height. And I know you wouldn't do this. You'd do it all in your CS table. But I'm a little caught for time today, so we'll do it this way. And I'm going to change the alignment to the top, just so it's renders a little pretty. Okay, so maybe let's save that and see how we're doing. You can get a sense of my Contoso site. Okay, so there's my Contoso travel site. We've got our header, our footer, okay. But no search results. So now I can go back to my, my custom search instance. So let's take a look at that again. And down here at the bottom, which is a little smushed up now, I can grab my script. There we go. Fabulous. And I can just copy that, and I can put it into my HTML. All right. So let's save that. And now let's get back over to our page and see how we did. Oh, there we go. Oh, it looks like I have a typo in my thing, but nicely in the admin tool, I can very easily fix that. So let's actually fix that right now. Fabulous. We'll hit the save button, if we can see it. It's up there somewhere. Maybe I have to make this a little bigger just to do that. It's probably about time we make it bigger anyway, so we can kind of see what we're doing. Okay. Oh, I just needed to get out of the box. That was it. Okay, great. And let's look at our page now. I'll refresh that. Okay, and that's fixed. Great. So you can see how you can really control this on your site very quickly with very little effort. Now, if you remember, earlier on, we were working on the search places to go, and we pinned something to the top. So let's see if that came through here in our end instance. So let's see, places to go. And we'll hit return, and sure enough, Visit Seattle is there on the top, and I have my full search page on my site, and I hope you'll all be frequenting it. I hope you're all planning a trip to Seattle soon, and you can actually play with this. Great. The other thing that you can do if you actually don't want to do that work and actually use the script is you can actually consume our hosted UI. It's even easier again, and we'll click on that link and go to there. And this is a hosted UI that we have on Azure. As I said earlier, we don't charge for the hosting of this UI, but what you could do is you could have a search box on your site so that when you type into it, you end up sending people over to this page, and they can search on that, and it works just like our other one. And when the person clicks on the link, they'll go, can you tell me what the protocol is, please? I didn't realize my search was that powerful. We're on fire here, literally, in the Plaza International. So hopefully, I'm not hearing the continuous siren, so maybe that was just a test, and we can keep going. Oh, okay. No, the lights are still flashing, but maybe until they tell us to leave, we'll keep going. All right, very good. That's a first for me, by the way, and in all the demos I've done across Build and Inspire and Ignite. That's a fire alarm is a good one. I wouldn't put it past my team to have played that prank on me, by the way, either. So that it could just be that. But assuming that we don't get kicked out of the building, you can see here that the hosted UI is one where you can just send people to that page and reuse it, or you could take the title bar off it and you could iframe that in, and you can use that. Great. So that's our demo for our travel page, and now we'll go back to more regular programming. But I want to encourage you that you could see how very easily there you could create that page and drop in that script. all of you can go home and try this out with our site at customsearch.ai. Okay, so let me go back to my slides here, and we'll move on. Okay, so in summary for that particular demo, and I put this in here because I wanted you to sort of have this when you go back and you're looking at these and the recording later. You can create your instance, you add your sites, you can block pages if you want to, you can upload your domains using a text file if you want to. You can editorialize your pins. You can even boost and demote sites. I didn't get into that because I didn't want to sort of I didn't want to confuse the pinning action. And then you can customize your UX template. So and we store all of this information, of course, securely on our backend for your instance, for your search, for you to place on your site. Okay. Now, what's happening on the back end? So you're out there and your user, and you're creating your search box and your search end instance. And what we're doing is that on the inbound query, we're doing some query processing that's taking into account your specific instance. We're taking into account the parameters that you've set, and we're using those signals to pass down into our engine, our query processing engine, where we pull the results out of our index. Now, this results in you focusing on a custom subset of the web within our billions and billions of pages that we have indexed for Bing. We index the whole planet in near real time. We index Twitter. We're very up to date in real time. Our crawler is continuously going. But if, for example, you are publishing new content to your site and you're saying, oh gosh, I'm worried that the crawler won't have seen it yet, that's no problem. You can go into our webmaster tools, you can make an RSS feed available or give us a sitemap, and we'll send our crawler back to your site and it can crawl for new content coming in. So then once we've scoped it down to those specific set of pages, then we pass that to the Bing ranking stack. And we have multiple levels of our ranking stack, and we use the commercial grade Bing ranker that's powering 1/3 of the searches in North America right now, and is literally scaling to trillions of queries every year. And we apply those pins that you created, and we apply boosting and ranking, and we change around that order for you to create that customized set of ranking there that you see on the bottom, and that's what gets sent back as a set of search results. So we utilize a lot of the same platform and technology and capability that we have within Bing, and we take that customization, add that on top, and push back the results that are only applicable to you. Okay. So early on, as we started to talk about custom search, one of the universities that came and talked to us early was Temple University, and they expressed a strong interest in working with us on this, and we were delighted to that. So we wanted to make them our showcase partner today. And Viral Mehta has a really, really great team of technologists within the university, and they've already been taking some of that output, and they've been creating sites and putting it together. And they've looked at it from a number of aspects, and I think this is kind of interesting. They're not only looking at it to power their own site search on their site today, but they also are looking at how can they use custom search instances to create the best verticals for their students. So for example, we're talking about AI today, so they could create the best AI vertical by putting together all of the best sites that have videos or whatever else you have together, and adding those domains to a vertical, and putting together that instance for their students. And because we let you create as many instances as they want, they can have deans create specialized search engines for their students. that just bring back the information that they're interested in, which is really interesting. So, sorry, on the next slide here, you can kind of get a sense of what that's looking. So, Temple University is actually consuming the JSON that I showed you earlier, and they've actually done the work to make that look just like their site. They're using the same colors and fonts and all of that great stuff. And this is a screenshot of that working. And we had a very nice quote from Verel, who's their Director of Web and Media Services, where he was saying that site search is a key feature for them, for their prospective and current students. And he felt that with such a rich feature set, that Bing Custom Search was an excellent choice for them. So it was really great to hear that, and we're really appreciative of their partnering with that, with us early. So now I'm going to move on to the Bing API v7 on cognitive services. So today on cognitive services, we have Bing API v5, but we're about to release v7 in October with some additional features that I'll talk about. And we're very excited about that. And for those of you who use v5 today, you can upgrade to v7. And for those of you who are not using us at all, we encourage you to try it out. And basically what the Bing APIs do is give you that massive index I was talking about, or using our entity search to look into our knowledge graph to provide that set of information. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not creating a full-on website, but that's okay. Many of our partners use our APIs for very different reasons. They use it for reputation management. They use it for, there's a certain travel company that we work with that uses it to find bad actors. There's many, many different ways that people want to use the information that's all around the planet, and they come to us to utilize our index. So when we look at the Bing search APIs all up, I mentioned a bunch of them before: web, custom, image, video, news. We've got auto-suggest and spell check as well. But the key thing about the APIs is that they're web scale, they're secure, you can call them HTTPS, they're very high performant because they use the exact same stack that's processing those trillions of queries that we're getting. And they're RESTful, so they follow standards in schema.org, and they will return JSON just like the JSON that I showed you earlier in my custom search demo. And we'll look at that a little bit closer in a moment. And the other thing, and you're probably noticing that about the fact that we're moving from v5 to v7 now, is that we want to continuously improve that. And a big part of continuously improving it is hearing from you. I'd love to talk to you afterwards today. I want to hear your feedback on our APIs. So let's talk about some of the features. So this is a good overview slide in that you're seeing here there's web results, news results, image results, and we return these all in our search response. And we also provide this, what we call a ranking response, which gives you the information of what did our ranker decide was the most important for that query. So you can get back all of these different types in the one query result set. But our ranker will even give you the information in terms of which ones did it seem most important. So maybe if the query was, you know, Taylor Swift, then maybe it's a video that's coming out on top because she has a new song out and it's trending. But you can utilize that, and all of these expand out. But very, very simple classes to use. Also in v7, we have some new and interesting features. Across image search, we're providing enhanced metadata around size and license and style and freshness and color. So you can query into our index and just show me the red images. I'd like something that is available for use in terms of Creative Commons license, because I want to make it available for people to use. So you might have a mobile application, for example, and you want to provide images to people that they can reuse. Then you're going to call us and you're going to set that license filter to something like Creative Commons. We have many of them. And if you're interested in sort of the types of filters you can get, they're the exact same ones that you see on Bing today. So go to Bing, look at the filters there and see what options are available. And of course, it's all in our documentation, but going to Bing, because v7 responds with the exact same information that you're getting from Bing for the web results, it's a great proxy to actually see, okay, well, what will I get if I want to do this kind of thing? What will I get if I set this particular type of filter? Okay, now I can code it up, and I can get that back from the API. So for videos, oh, actually, I should mention for images first. We also have image insights. So we do entity recognition, so we can detect celebrities within images and tell you who that is. And we do visually similar, which is very interesting, because you could take an image or part of an image and send that to us. Oh, dear. That's going to be a great one for the recording, don't you think? Oh, he's going to repeat it, though. Hey, buddy, we've got work to do here. Okay. You're very welcome. It was only minor. Okay, fantastic. Okay, very good. So we can move on. So what I was talking about here was visually similar, which is very interesting. And you can actually do that on Bing today, where you can take a piece of an image and you can search for it. So you might search for the logo that's as part of a bigger image, and you get back similar images to that. Or you might pass in an image of a red shoe, and you get back bunches of other red shoes. And what we also provide is indication as to whether or not there's a shopping intent associated to that. You can say, oh, did that image come from a shopping page? Or did that image come from a page that has a recipe on it? We have a lot of people, we actually got that feedback, where people wanted to know if these images were to do with recipes. People want to create recipe books. So you can get that signal back as well in the data, which is interesting. For videos, we have things like price, because of course now there are videos that are available on the web on sites like Hulu that you have to pay for. So we'll actually provide you that little piece of data back in the API where you can see that, oh yeah, this is the video result that you're giving back to me. This is a for-fee one. So maybe you want to leave that out. I don't know. It's, you don't want to actually show anything that's paid, and you're thinking through having a filtering capability on your site like that. We have the ability, of course, to look at resolution, length, freshness. When was the video up there? I only want to show my user the ones that were most recently added to a collection. That could be very interesting. And we also provide motion thumbnails. So before you might have had to, okay, how can I give somebody a preview? But this is something that you'd expect to see in a search engine today, and we're actually making that capability available to you. So we'll let you use our thumbnails on our server, and you can actually play the motion thumbnails. And then finally, for the news vertical, you can look at news by category and market, and you can bring back rich metadata like featured entities in the news. So if we identify an entity, and the other thing that we do for each of these as well is we provide trending information. So for video, you can do trending movies. You can do actually I have that on the next slide. You can do movies, you can trend people, you can trend sports, you can bring back all of these things to see what's actually trending, which is super interesting information for a lot of the social aspects. So if you want to go use this, you can access the APIs by simply having a subscription key that you'll get up at, you can do it for free. You can start playing with it for free, and all you do is you pass in that request with your key, and you get your results. It's actually very easy GET request. Okay, so we're doing well on time, which is what I was hoping would be at right about now. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit about entity search as a bonus. Our entity search is a slice of our knowledge graph. Our knowledge graph has literally billions and billions of entities in it. What are entities? Entities, unfortunately, we can't show any commercial pictures in a presentation like this, or I'd cover the screen with them. But entities are people, places, things. It's the movie you saw last week. it's the name of a drug, it's whatever it is. And people, we've recognized, and we've gotten a ton of feedback from people, that people need to use entity search to derive context. So you might, for example, have a site with content in it, like this MSN article that's about Game of Thrones. And you might not know who Sansa Stark is. And you can send us just that little piece of text, Sansa Stark, and we'll provide information that you can use in whatever context. So instead of getting back search results or a bunch of web results, now you're getting back specific information about the things. You might pass in that. You might pass in Brad Pitt. We'll tell you he's an American actor. We'll tell you the best website to go and look at him. We'll give you some information about it. The API also returns places. So you can pass in coffee and a zip code, and you'll get back a bunch of, what are the coffee shops around me? You can pass in a specific, the El Gaucho, which happens to be in the bottom of our building back in Bellevue. You can pass in that restaurant name, and it'll tell you where that is and what their phone number is and what their web address is. So key information there around entities and places. And of course, when you use the API, as I'm sort of showing you the request header up there, of course we return JSON to you, just as you'd expect. So you can get at this data and utilize this data in context and with the set of capabilities that you want to add to for your application or your site or your mobile app. Okay, great. So we'll get into a Q&A in a moment, and I brought some prizes with me, so I'm hoping I'll hear some great questions, because I want to give all of those away. But in terms of next steps, so for custom search, which we talked about first, you can go to customsearch.ai, try that out. For cognitive, microsoft.com/cognitive. And I'm really happy for you to email us at bingcustomsearch@microsoft.com with questions, feature ideas, or whatever for custom search. Great. So before we go into our Q&A, I wanted to answer a couple of questions that are sort of the top questions that I'm hearing from the expo floor. I've been down there for the last couple of days. You can probably hear my voice is a little sore. And a couple of the key questions that I'm getting from people, the first one is, how can I create a search that works for my clients' internal documents as well as their public-facing documents? Because the searches we talked about today was about the public index and what's available and visual to the public. So there's two things that I'd like you to go and look at in relation to this that we have at Microsoft that will help you. The first is my sister team, and if those of you who were at the keynotes may have seen this, is Bing for Business, which allows you to tie Bing Search to your SharePoint and your Office 365 and your documents and a bunch of cool internal data in your GAL, and bring all of that together and make it available for your clients, which is really good. The other one is Azure Search. If you have a blob of data and you need that searched across, you can put that in Azure, and Azure Search will work across that for you. And we've already gotten the feedback here on the expo floor of, hey, can you take custom search and can you jam it together with Azure Search? And great ideas. And I want to hear any specific instances and scenarios that you have. Please come and tell them to me, because this is guiding for us. And we'll take that feedback and use this to guide us going forward. The next one I get, and hopefully I've answered that already. If you don't know the answer to this next one, then I haven't done a good job here on stage, is when will you launch custom search? As we want to implement it now, and I think we know why, because one of our competitors is sort of forcing you to show ads. And I've saved that until now to remind you that Bing Custom Search will never ask you to show ads. I don't know why you would want to show your competitors' ads on your site for your business. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's not my product. So we will never ask you to show ads. with custom search. So now, it's your opportunity to ask questions. And if you ask a good question, I have some lovely travel mugs up here, the Bing travel mugs that I'm just dying to give away. If you have a question, please go to a mic so we can hear you on the recording, and queue up, and I'll be happy to give away some prizes.
Hi.
Yes, sir, you were there first. Could you tell us, if you're happy to, who you are, what you do, and what your question is?
Yeah. So firstly, thank you, Brian, for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much.
I'm Mahendra from India, Bangalore.
Oh, very welcome.
Yeah,
I've been there, and it's a lovely, lovely city.
Yeah. So I'm the SharePoint delivery manager,
Okay.
managing all the SharePoint forms. So we have SharePoint forms in 2010 located in multiple data centers in Austin, Korea, Israel,
Oh, wow.
and India as well.
That's quite the spread.
Yeah. So my question is, so we have our Office 365 tenant. So we have invested a lot in building the hybrid search because
Okay.
we have a lot of contents in on-premise with different on-premise content sources and hybrid search as we are moving, leveraging many of the Office 365 SharePoint sites.
Okay.
So my question is, so Bing Custom Search API looks great.
Yes.
So we have spent many months building our custom UI
Okay.
for our hybrid search.
Yes.
And
Oh, your hybrid search uses both public and
Yes.
internal. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Sort
Yeah.
of solving some of those things we were talking about in the
Yeah.
last question. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well
so
done.
Our cloud SSA, the cloud search, it indexes both our on-premise as well as our O365.
Okay.
So my question is, the hosted UI looks awesome, the Azure
Yes.
hosted UI. Are there any roadmap for hosted UI to be available in our cloud hybrid search?
And cloud regular search. So I don't know for Azure Search if there's a hosted UI option, but I will tell you that that's great feedback, and I'm actually talking to those guys very soon to talk about how we can do more things together and more things more similarly. So now that I'm hearing that in terms of the fact that you'd like to see a hosted UI for Azure on Azure is great feedback, and I'll definitely take that back.
A quick advertisement. We have a hosted UI that runs on Azure that includes custom search and SharePoint search.
On O365.
So come talk.
Great.
Thank you.
I would love for you guys to talk. Yeah, I'm not the expert for Azure Search, so I'd love for you guys to talk. So thank you. That was a great question. Would you like a white or black mug? White? All right, it's yours. Thanks very much. All right, I think this gentleman was next.
Yeah, I'm Saman Ahmadi from Finland, Digital Illustrated.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. My question is about the language support. So
Yes.
let's say that if we have Finnish content or we want to search for Finnish content, does it support different languages, and which languages?
Yes. The fastest answer to that question is yes, yes we do. We support 42 markets, we call them, because we think about both the location and, of course, the multiple languages that might be spoken at that location. Bing is agnostic in terms of where it crawls, so you can actually use custom search for any market. And if we've crawled, that's great. If we haven't crawled that particular site, then you can just give us an RSS feed and we'll crawl it and you're working.
Okay, perfect.
Great. That's a great question. What color mug would you like?
I'll go with the white.
You go with the white? All right. Yeah, that seems to be a favorite for people. Thank you very much. Now, I think this gentleman was, oh, I'm sorry, this gentleman was next. I apologize.
Hi. So my question is regarding the ranking. I believe the ranking is currently available from the Bing, that it decides which page to show based on the search that people put. Is there a way that if company wants to tag a particular page and they want to show as a top result
Yes.
in the search,
Yes.
is there like some capability that
Now, do you mean within Bing Custom Search or within Bing
custom search?
Custom Search? Yes. So hopefully that came across, but you can take a particular page for a specific query and you can pin that to the top.
Okay, there's a okay.
You can absolutely do that, and that's actually one of our sort of star features, because we want all of you to be able to manage the ranking and results for your site.
And that pinning is, I mean, that we can do, or this is like a user base that users have to do?
No, it's actually you get to do. So the idea there is that you know the queries that are coming to your site, and you should get to decide what content is served for your site based on those queries. Yeah, so give it a go. What color would you like?
Black.
Black, okay. Oh, our first black one, excellent. Some diversity, I like that. Thank you very much. All right, now, I think you were here next, because I'm gonna run out, but if we have other questions, I'm gonna have you come to me on the expo floor, and I will give you a mug. We will make you whole, as long as I have them to give away. Yes, sir.
Cool. Hi, I'm Jeff Fried from BA Insight,
Oh, thanks, Jeffy.
and I have lots of questions that I'll grab you later, but
Okay, great.
one-
I'd be happy to do that.
One specific one has to do with the commercial charging and billing for custom search.
Okay.
Our customers are asking us whether they can manage to a budget. So,
Whether they can manage
to a budget.
Oh, to a budget, yes. Okay,
So, and right now it's per band of API calls, so we
Right.
can give them an estimate, but we can't give them a threshold or a throttle.
I see, I see. Now, are you talking about, so were you talking about now, so you're talking about V5, Bing API V5,
These
right?
are internally facing sites where we're calling the image search
Okay, on V5.
API
Okay, through
from
Cognitive.
our application.
Right. Okay, very good. So, so we will have some updated pricing with V7, and the most I can tell you right now is that it should address your issue, in that it's sort of a continuous pay-for-play. Now, the budgeting aspect of something you probably have to manage, right? Because I can't tell when your client is going to run out of their budget.
Right.
I mean, the only other way to go about that would be to do maybe an enterprise agreement where you have a set fixed amount, and you could do it that way. But those are, I don't know what the scale of your budget is. Those are usually a little bit sort of higher spend, and if you've got a client and they're in the tens or hundreds in terms of their spend, then maybe that's not the route. But definitely look at the pricing for V7, because we'll address that more clearly for you there.
Good.
Great, thank you. What color mug would you like? Black, all right. That's fine. I get good percentage either way. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
My name's Josh.
Hello, Josh.
With Kforce in Tampa. I'm curious about the results. Can you filter down the results so that it's only a particular, say, type of page, like searching a person and you get their LinkedIn profile and their other profiles from other sites that are publicly available?
That's an interesting one. I think the best way to go about that in custom search would be to create a vertical like I did for Contoso, and I'd add Facebook and I'd add LinkedIn, and for name searches, that should probably be the pages that would come back from that site. You'd have to try that out. And then if there were subsections of those sites that you didn't want to come back, then that's what you'd put in the block area.
Okay.
And then you'd scope it down. So the nice thing is you can add whole domains, but you can scope down, you know, within sites and subsites. Great. Well, I have a white mug to give you. There you go. Thank you very much for your question. Thanks for coming. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, hi, I'm Andrea. I work for a Swedish ferry company.
Oh, great.
We have 18 domains that our site is running on, and we
Fabulous.
have one big problem, and that's people traveling with pets and
Okay.
searching for like dog or cat and
Yes.
all kinds of. Is it smart enough to figure out to go to the pets page? Is that
It
anything?
absolutely is. Well, you see, that's the beauty of the pinning, is that for queries that you know your customers are entering, so first of all, you could put all of your domains in, and then you could say, for our custom search that we're running across all those domains, if somebody types in dog, I want them to go to this specific page. You absolutely can configure it that way.
But
And
you
that's
have
the
to
whole point.
teach it yourself, so it doesn't automatically.
Well, it wouldn't know what you would consider to be the best page. Like, in its ranking, it would provide, its default ranking might be, in many cases, I have to, the ranking is so good, I have to pretend which one to move up and pin to the top in my demonstrations. But if it wasn't the one that was getting to the top for a specific query, then you could pin it to the top. And you could do that across a range. And the nice thing is that if you configure it for one domain using our cloning or our uploading via text file, you can manage that.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Will you come see me? I have a map here that's sort of showing how to get to us on the expo floor. We're on the expo floor, over on the west side, and I will give you a mug.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, and any more questions? Yeah, could you use the mic so we can get it for the recording, please? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Harsha. I work for Excel Catalan. It's an insurance or insurance company.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I had a specific question on the video search. There's sometimes, there's a lot of training material we have, and video semantics, is there any scope of understanding the video a bit more compared to having texting instead and trying to search for it? Maybe some speech, and if there's a video that is actually done in a specific manner, I understand you can't understand all the videos, because with the AI, I was thinking the video search probably would be more intelligent, trying to understand what the video is trying to do, and then try to search on it.
Yeah,
So-
today, I mean, the interesting thing is that we actually have the technology to move through the videos, and you're seeing that in APIs like our video indexer today. We use a lot of the metadata around the video too, like what's on the page, what's the title of the page, all of that kind of stuff.
Right, that's
Right.
still something outside the video. I'm trying to
Yes,
see if
yes.
you can use the video itself to do anything that's semantically available from the video. Like some training videos, there's in certain formats, and maybe you can corner down to say if you were actually doing this.
Yes.
Those are the things I'm
Yes,
looking
yes.
for, because otherwise I'm having to type in a lot more metadata
Right,
for these
right.
videos to do it.
No, that's a great feature idea. I don't believe that for Bing video search that we're pulling the metadata from the entire video, because some are so long we just can't get to the. I do believe we are using some from the beginning, and if there's anything embedded in the video, we're pulling all of that in as well. So we are doing some processing there, but we obviously we consume, you know, petabytes and petabytes of video data,
Right.
and running through it all might not be possible from a time management
Yeah.
perspective. But,
I can
but this is
mark
a
the
great feature idea, and I can certainly take that back to the team.
Okay. Maybe you could mark certain parts of the video with certain tags and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We could still try that, but I want to avoid making tons of metadata for it.
Of course you do.
And then,
Yeah.
and people, what ends up is that people copy over the same metadata,
Yes.
and the search becomes impossible
Yes,
from there.
yes. What you could do is you could run our video indexer across the videos you're interested in, take that outputted metadata, and create your own sort of pages and use that with custom search, something like that. You could,
Okay.
you could definitely work around that. But it's a great feature idea, and I'll pass it on to the team.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you. Will you come see me at the expo? Follow the map on the screen, and I will make sure you get a mug if you're interested. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so just along the same lines, so if, you know, I'm at General Motors, and so, you know, if
Welcome.
our communications folks, like somebody will search for, show me all of the videos that Mary Barra has been in.
Yes.
So those kinds of search, would that be a, you know, custom search? How would we kind of make that work?
So it would depend on what metadata, sort of similar to the last answer, it would depend on what metadata is around the video today. Because if the information you're looking for is actually embedded deep in the video, and that's the only place that it is, then we might not pick it up. But it would depend on how much of it that we've traversed. So we do crack open the videos, and we do pull out some metadata from the beginning, but it would depend on sort of how long that was and how deep that was into the video. But now that I've heard this from more than one person, I'm
And they
sure
are
our team will be
specific
interested.
videos, you know,
Yeah,
so we would
yeah.
say, you know, for this, 10% of these, you know, of our whole video
Yes.
repository, these 10%, we would want to do something like that.
Very good, very good.
Maybe ingest the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah, that's what we were talking about in the last answer, yeah. But you could take that metadata out of the video indexer, and you could put that on pages and associate that with custom search and allow people to find it that way. Yeah, but happy to give you my card, and we can certainly continue that conversation.
It's part of the same cognitive services group, so
Yep, we can certainly. Oh dear. Yeah, yeah. Well, between Bing for Business and custom search, I think we might have you very covered. I'll be on the floor, yeah. Yeah, we can talk more there. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Definitely drop by. And I'll give you a mug when I see you. Thanks very much. Thank you, everyone, for attending.